All righty, Casey. Something we have to talk about is this mythical creature called an investor-friendly agent. It's one of those terms that are thrown around. Probably people try to wear it, but I think you and I, as investors, we kind of see through that moniker. So I think we should talk about it. I think we should educate other investors on how to test or qualify their agents. What do you think?
I think it's definitely needed. I work with so many students one-on-one, and one of the biggest problems people are having is finding an investor-friendly agent. Even the agents themselves don't know what that means. And that's the problem. So I was an agent for 6 years in California, and I worked with investors, flippers, and I felt like, gosh, my customer service was like top notch. What the heck is going on with people nowadays? So an investor friendly agent is not someone who will work with investors. That
Right.
is not what an investor friendly agent means. Anyone will work with investors. You get a brand new real estate agent and you say, will you work with investors? You're gonna be like, sure do, sure do. You'll be my first one, but I sure do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
especially as an out-of-state investor, you do not want to be a real estate agent's guinea pig. You're looking for this is your boots on the ground person who's going to
Yeah.
be you, your advocate, working for you, and they need to know what they're talking about. So,
Totally
a
agree.
few things that real estate investor-friendly agents need to have, and I say this to everybody: the number one quality I think they need to have is experience in your rental market, within a rental market, right? Any agent can open the door, right? Any agent can get a key and unlock the door. Any agent can fill in the blanks with a contract, but not any agent knows how to price rental properties, understands what they will rent for, knows what amenities are, tenants are looking for in the neighborhood, knows if the area is good or bad, what types of tenants you'll get. It's always about the tenants, always about the tenants. What will the neighborhood bring you? They need to understand that. And the only way that real estate agents will have those answers is by two things. Either they've done it before because they have their own, they have their own properties, right? And so that's how they learned it first time, is buying their own rentals. Or two, they've worked with a real estate agent, a real estate investor in the past, and have gotten experience through someone else. They were somebody else's guinea pig, because as a real estate agent, the real estate school, they do not teach you about rent. They will teach you how to do cap rate and how to do these formulas, but that's in the textbook. But you will not learn how to analyze rental properties through the eyes of an investor. What makes a good rental property? What makes a property low risk? What makes a rental property desirable? How to understand what areas will cash flow and which ones won't. That's all by experience, all by learning. So you have to make sure that when you're vetting your real estate agent, that they have this experience. You can't just say, do you work with investors? Because they'll say yes.
Right. Yeah. I think there's a couple of things that I would tell a new investor working with an agent they suspect is or isn't an investor friendly agent. One is, what's their Rolodex, right? And especially out of state. You need to know, if you're going to be my boots on the ground, who are your contractors, your painters, your inspectors, your gardeners, you know, all of those things. Do you have a rough idea on what windows and flooring and painting costs, right? Are you going to be really an asset to me? Because again, to your point, anybody can fill in blanks and open doors, take pictures.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I want somebody that's going to be an asset others in other areas. The other thing, like when you call out like, hey, I'm going to invest in Memphis, your backyard, from California, my backyard. I want to actually get an agent that asks me questions. I think, I think too many times it's kind of a one-way conversation. Of course, yeah, I work with you. Of course, are you pre-approved and then blah, 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 that kind of stuff. I want an agent basically asking me, what's my buy box? Because at a minimum, they're going to set up an automatic search for me and send it to me daily or weekly or however you guys decide. But again, I want them qualifying me, because again, if the agent just says yes, that's because their bandwidth is pretty wide open. If the agent is qualifying you to not waste their time, it means they have a strong book of business, because they're always willing to add, but they're not going to add time wasters. So I think there's some things that I look for.
I got a question for you too. Like,
Sure.
what are your thoughts on, and this is like a mixed, people are,
Sure.
say whatever, you'll get what I'm asking. What are your thoughts on real estate agents right from the beginning asking you to sign a buyer broker agreement?
Oh, I would never do that. Never
Good.
do that.
So, and I did it before, and he was highly recommended. Da, 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 da. And this was when I was looking for out of state property myself. There's two kind of target areas that I was looking in. They're not too far away from each other, but people don't want to drive. And some people have their favorite area. Some agents are like, this is my area. I like this area. This area is better than the other area, right? Well, I liked both areas. They both had their qualities. I was interested in both. I had an agent over here and I had an agent over here, but this guy made me sign an agreement. I'm like, all right, I'm most likely going to be in this area. He's freaking amazing. I'm going to sign. So I did. Property came up in this area and I told him about it. And I still remember the address. Property came up in that area and he didn't make it a priority to go check it out for me. Why? Because I didn't like the area so much. That wasn't he's a favorite to this area. I lost the deal because he didn't get his butt over there fast enough. And I'm so mad because if I had not signed that, I would have called the other agent and had her go, and I would have that property on 359 Scenic Drive, Hot Springs, Arkansas. I won't forget. It was perfect. Okay. Price is perfect. Everything's perfect. I won't forget. This was 2 years ago. I'm still mad about it. And so for me, my thoughts on buyer broker agreements are this. Your real estate agent should be so good that they don't need to hold you down with an agreement. I'm not a fan of those. I never made anyone sign a buyer broker agreement before working with them. I don't like it. There's two things you need to watch for in those. And one of them is the length of time that they requiring you to work with them. Sometimes it's usually 6 months to 12 months. If anything, can you try and get to 3 months for a test run, if you really want to try and work with them. And the other thing is a minimum commission. Now, I know why they have minimum commissions, especially for investors, because they're only going to get a portion of 3% if that is what they're getting, right? So if you have $100,000 property, the max they're going to get is 3,000. It's going to be under 3,000 because they got to share that with their broker, but depending upon their split, but that's not a lot of money. Okay. And real estate agents can make, it's the same amount of work for $100,000 house or $1 million house. They'd rather make the $30,000. Okay. So I know why they have the minimum commission, but as a real estate investor, we also have to know that real estate agents are a dime a dozen. Every 10 people that I know, one of them is a real estate agent. It's the easiest thing to do is get your real estate license, right? All retired people go get their license. So you don't have to work with someone that's going to make you pay a minimum of $5,000 for every house. And you don't need to work with someone who is going to make you send them listings. They're never going to send you anything, but you're stuck with them for 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that personally.
No, I think it's, if an agent forced me to do or said, hey, I only work with you if, I would find another agent.
Yeah.
I can't think of any reason why I would sign one. I think that's a sign of weakness. You should be so good.
That's what I say.
Yeah, that I would come to you. But yeah, at the end of the day, again, I do think, just to put the shoe on the other foot, real estate agents do have people waste their time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So again, like I said, I fully expect real estate agents to qualify me.
Yep.
If they don't, that's a mistake. You should qualify all your buyers, especially today, because transactions are down, right? So again, you need to make sure you're spending your time where it's most valuable. So qualify. I fully support that. But yeah, I'm not signing that agreement. No way.
No.
Nope. Casey, where can people find you?
You can find me everywhere. Brick by Brick Wealth.
There you
Instagram,
go. Follow us.
YouTube,
Yes.
Twitter. Well, it's Brick by BR Wealth. There weren't enough letters. And my website.
There you
All
go.
places.
Thank you so much.